you were talking about how like a hoe phase also includes like a girl going out to the clubs or like posting stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
I just want you to elaborate a little bit more on that, because I'm like, how does posting on Instagram?
You're
so that means I'm still in my hoe phase. But
So I'll say this because it's funny how none of the girls mentioned this earlier, which kind of goes to show like the vast disparity in like how men define a girl being like a hoe versus how girls do it. If you guys notice, all the girls pretty much definition is like you have to actually be fucking the guy to be considered to be in your hoe phase. Versus like for men, we look at it a lot differently.
Oh, wow.
If girl does activities, right, that if a girl participates in activities that may lead to promiscuous activity, that is considered a hoe phase. Going on girls trips, going to clubs, being in certain social situations where sex is almost inevitable, and advertising themselves on the internet, putting sexy pictures of themselves. These are all things that would add to it to make it like, okay, this girl is definitely on her hoe phase. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting how with the girls, it's like, no, it's sex. But when you ask the guys, it's much broader than that.
Right.
I think understanding that the environment that you hold for yourself can lead to whole activities. So you don't have to actually do the act, but being in that environment, and travel, maybe somebody's house, maybe like a party, those environments can lead to things to happen. We're just saying, if you're with somebody, right, and you do that, that's like probably cheating on some level. If you're single, it's probably a whole phase because you're not out here, multiple options, it's going to happen eventually.
And the other thing too is that like when women say like, oh no, it's got to be sex, that's assuming like they're the ones actually going out there and talking to the guys. Women rarely, if ever, approach men. They put themselves in situations where men can approach them.
On Instagram and episodes.
So okay.
I don't think you're going to surprise us.
Okay. You can say I've seen girls approach or whatever. That's still an exception to the rule. Most women don't approach men.
They're afraid of it.
They don't. They just don't do it. Like if I was a guy and I was extremely handsome, I might get approached. You know, I might get approached a few times in my lifetime. But with a woman that's mediocre looking, she's still going to get approached a bunch of times. So with girls, since they can't overtly go and attract men, they have to do it covertly by putting themselves in situations and dressing a certain way. So that's why I would say the definition for a hoe phase from a male perspective most of the time is going to be much broader than what women say.
How many guys have you approached recently?
Oh, recently?
Chris.
In
the past year?
No, it depends. Like if you meet somebody that's like you make that connection with, I'm definitely gonna go approach him, but like, yo.
So how many? That was the question.
Okay, well, like in the how long?
How do you make a connection before you meet somebody and approach them?
Nobody. You know, you could see
What?
somebody.
She reads the Tell room. Me.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
You could see somebody, and for some reason, like sparks fly
magically,
and you're feeling them. You're feeling them on a like a extraterrestrial. Like,
so I'm guessing that's a no for you. Okay.
Way. So it happens. It happens. I definitely had that. I experienced that. 40. I met somebody that I'm like, oh my god, I gotta know that guy.
Okay. Yeah, because they're attractive, though, not because of their personality.
No, personality-wise, like you just look into
after you
introduce.
No, how do you say I met somebody that I want to get to know? You already got to know them.
Sometimes you could just look in their eyes and be like, "Yo, I want to know you."
Man, you are funny. You should be a comedian yourself.
A lot of comedians say. That's so legit. Like I have definitely met a guy.
I've never experienced that.
Really?
Never.
And like for some reason, I just know that we're gonna bond. Oh, I'm sorry.
Where's he now?
I got you.
Where's
he is
now?
not
Gone with the wind.
Okay.
But you see, like I have an OnlyFans. I post on Instagram. I post sexy pics of myself, and I go out. Like my fiance lets me go out. He lets me have a good time, and he'll stay at home.
Wow.
You're the man of that relationship. You know that.
I'm the man.
You are the girl boss posting naked pictures going out. He's staying at home. You in charge.
100%.
Oh my god, no! But like he just like knows I'm not out here cheating. Like that's not a hoe phase. Like I'm still not on my hoe phase. I feel like the hoe phase was like when I was out and about seeking men. Like I was literally going up to men.
You're going to the club and posting on OnlyFans.
Oh damn!
On
like they're fine. Like let me go.
All right, let me give the ladies here a harsh reality. Most guys may not tell you this, but if you advertise yourself on the internet and you're in some type of real relationship with a guy, that's disrespectful to the guy, and most guys are going to pretty much attribute that to being cheating.
I'm engaged.
For now.
Okay.
I'm gonna get married.
For now.
Okay. Well,
do you think he'll make
he
you
loves
stop?
me.
For now.
No, he loves it. Like he loves it. He loves me being like I feel so feminine, like posting myself and like being like, ooh, like I get to like be sexy in the bedroom, but I also get to be sexy like online. You know what I mean? Like he loves that shit.
What does your guy do for work?
What does he do for work?
Yeah.
He works as a server as well.
Okay, so you definitely earn more money than he does, and he's your age.
He is. He's a little bit older.
Yeah, you're the man.
Yeah. So that explains.
You're the man, girl.
You're the man, girl.
I guess if being the boss bitch makes me the man, I'm the man.
Okay. I mean, you're the clear breadwinner of the relationship, which is why you're kind of able to dictate the terms and do what you want to do. But I would argue if you took any sane, rational guy that had options and told them, "Yo, your girl's gonna go to the club and do what she wants and be on OnlyFans," they would have an issue with that.
Especially a Jamaican.
No, like there's certain things that he won't let me do. Like he definitely dictates certain things. Like, oh, like if I'm going out with like my friend Liv over there, like you guys can't be with like all these you guys can't be with all these men in the car and like all this stuff. Like obviously, like there's like boundaries.
How would he stop that?
Yeah.
For his relationship.
How would he even stop?
Trust. Like when you're engaged, you have trust. Like that you're not in a relationship. It's not just like a whatever. You know what I mean?
If you're
like there's
out and
trust.
about and y'all go to the club, you go to the table, you're with some people there. They said pull up, we're going to the next spot. You all get in the car.
You going?
You're going.
Fresh nose, yeah.
You don't want to say no.
Fresh nose.
No, I'm gonna walk.
No,
I'm gonna bike over there. See you there. Uber.
And they maybe stop at their house. You never like.
No,
Come on, man.
he just doesn't want me with like a man that just like is here for like nothing. You know what I mean? Like he'll be like if like let's say we're out. Let's say I'm out with my fiance at the club or something. You know what I mean? And like I'm at the bar looking good, and he just this guy offers me a fucking drink. He'll be like, take that shit. He'll be like, take that shit. And I will take it.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? But like,
Show you all.
You gonna take that shit? Yeah,
show you all.
take it good.
Yeah, you take good. All right.
You gonna take that shit?
Okay, here's a question for you. Would he be okay with you taking that drink if you weren't there?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he would. He's confident. He's not an insecure man. He believes in himself, and he knows that he has me locked down.
I would argue he's actually very. I would argue the opposite, and this might be offensive.
What's so funny?
I would argue it's the opposite. And the reason why I would argue it's the opposite is I would argue that he's actually very insecure by allowing you to do what you do. If he was secure, he would tell you, "Yo, that's disrespectful behavior. I don't like that." And you know, if you want to go to the club and do your thing and advertise yourself, that's fantastic. But when you come back, we're no longer in a relationship. And I would argue when a guy lets a woman do what she wants, because let's be honest here, if I put a guy in a room and I ask him, "Hey man, are you okay with your girl going to the club and having this type of lifestyle?" Most guys are not going to like that. Most guys endure it because they understand that they don't necessarily have an option to walk away from that girl, so they let her do what she wants. But I would argue, so that is the real definition of insecure, because they can't necessarily get another girl to replace you. But if they are going to be secure, then they can replace you. Therefore, they can have their boundaries and, more importantly, enforce them. But we have this crazy ass concept nowadays where if a man has boundaries on a woman, it's considered insecure. I would argue that it's insecure when you don't have boundaries.
100%.
It's the opposite.
I would disagree.
Okay,
well,
go ahead.
Of course you would say that because women.
You would go to the club.
You're gonna, of course, you're gonna say that because you lose leverage in that scenario I described. But that's the reality of what women want: a guy who can replace them quickly. But men do not want a woman that's going to be willing to replace him quickly by advertising herself or entertaining other options. That's his difference. A woman that's out and about is not attractive. A man that's out and about is.
A man that goes out and about is attractive.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Because women...
You got to earn it.
Because social proof is a thing with women. They've proved this with chimpanzees. I don't care what any of you ladies on the panel say. They took a male chimpanzee by himself. It was far harder for him to attract a mate. However, when you put him with female chimpanzees, it was way easier for him to attract a mate. And chimpanzees are the closest companions to human beings.
Can I put an explicit
social proof is a real thing.
For a man to go out, even like a city like Miami, you need to be high value. You need to be rich. You need to have something about you. You need to have connections. For you to go out and be at the club and post an OnlyFans, all you got to do is spread your legs. Nobody cares what you do with your past. All you could just be as a girl and show up. But
okay, but I feel like for men, it could be the same thing. It's all about looks, too. I feel like when I was in my actual quote-unquote hoe phase, like I don't give a fuck what type of money you had. You looked fine. I'd be like, all right.
I mean,
okay.
I'm not talking about you and your standards for dick. I'm talking about how the world perceives us. You need to be a better person to be in the same position that you can be just for showing up and putting on a bra.
So, but like, you think a man can go out to the club and the woman can stay home, and that's still like good?
Yes, men and women are not the same at all. It doesn't have the same negative ramifications.
I've seen way more men.
If a woman goes to the club versus a man,
I've seen way more men cheat at the club than I've ever seen women.
Yeah, but cheating is something that we earn.
Can I add something?
Not every man could just cheat. You need to be a good man, and like you need to have a lot of respect, and you need to be rich to cheat.
I love when this guy talks. He has a lot to say.
It's the truth.
That's the
No,
truth.
it's true. Can I
I'm
say
happy
something?
you guys
really
agree.
quick?
I mean, it's not the same. If you go out and you fuck another guy, it's not the same as if I go out and fuck another girl. A woman has to get to a certain point emotionally to have sex with another man. A man does not have to get to a certain point emotionally to have sex with another woman.
100%.
A man can love his girl the same and fuck other chicks, but it does not work the other way around.
Right.
So therefore, we don't play by the same set of rules.
Moving to Indiana or something.
Men must create their value to be able to get this abundance that you're talking about. Like you're talking about an attractive guy. Even if you take, and we have literally a study that shows this, if you take the top 1% of man, right, that in attraction level, he still does not get as many messages as a average looking girl.
No.
On dating apps and on Instagram. Like
that's why all of you said that you're 10s, because all you have an inflated ego because of social media.
Well,
and
the
you
one
don't
that
realize
said she was a 10.
The 8s and the 9.5s. The reason that you think that is because of the amount of messages you get on social media. But I'm telling you, that's not the reality of what your actual value is.
Why does a message have to validate my number?
A message is not shit.
That doesn't mean
okay,
shit.
that's why you think you're a girl boss because of all those OnlyFans
Men
messages.
and women have to, like, I'm a girl boss because my personality is fucking A1.
OnlyFans.
I'm an A1 lady. I'm always gonna. I'm
An A1 OnlyFans girl boss.
I have a question. So by being an OnlyFans girl boss, you're not feminine.
Well, again, this goes back to what I said before. You cannot be a boss, right, which inherently has masculine traits while simultaneously being feminine. It doesn't work.
So you wanna like, what do you want that is feminine? Like, you want a broke girl. Like, you want a girl that's jobless.
But you don't have to be.
No one said that. So here's the thing. What you're doing is you're taking an extreme. So you're saying that you want, like, and girls always do this when I talk about like boss babes not being feminine. They immediately attribute the complete opposite. She's broke and poor, and she's feminine, and she can't even get her own Uber. Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want, bro. No. I just don't want a girlfriend that's posting on OnlyFans.
So what's the money limit on being feminine?
Here's
the money limit?
Here's the thing. What if I told you men don't care about how much money a woman earns typically?
They don't.